Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down.
Natalie, hello.
Hi, Angela. Chills.
Cheers, darling.
Clink. Clink.
Clink. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Put Your Books
Down.
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 And it's the week of, we just had 4th of July, and we're recording this a couple days later, and so this is going to come out the following week.
Correct.
And today, we've just had a lot of downtime, and I feel like I've been watching a lot of TV, so we thought we would do another what we've been watching episode for our listeners, because I feel like there's so much good stuff to watch, and
everyone wants to know.
And everybody wants to know.
What are those gals watching?
What
the hell are they watching?
What are those gals doing with their lives?
Watching?
Because they know. Yeah, they know.
Everybody wants to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. They're just inquiring minds.
I wanted to ask you, though, I wanted to make a point to acknowledge your incredible hair.
Oh, thank you. I just got my hair colored today.
Yeah, really
she did a little whoosh. Thanks.
And your week has been fine. Everything's been good so far.
Yeah, we hung out with the neighbors. I got to know the neighbors a little bit, which was fun. This is the first time after living here since 2018.
Yeah, I'm not a neighbors person.
I know.
You know?
I gotta
say,
say,
I just don't even. Maybe I might throw my hand up to get cred. I don't. Just never been good. I don't know. I'm not gonna.
The neighborhood nod. You don't even do like the nod when people walk
I do
by.
Nod.
And you're like, hey,
I
how
give
you
good
doing?
nod. I do nod. I nod.
You give good nod. Oh, that's weird, Natalie.
No, I mean I sit on my porch and watch people run the 4-way stop.
Yeah.
We have my friends and I during COVID made it a drinking game. Actually, had a drink, and it was a lot of people.
Dang, man,
including my parents, but they have been trying to do better.
You're like, listen, we're putting you on blast here.
I just start yelling at them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, people need to stop at stop signs. I just said stop signs.
It's a law and it's a fact. So I just wanted to mention to you, my finger's doing fine. I was electrocuted
tell people
yesterday.
What happened? And it wasn't from it wasn't you got to stop lighting off those fireworks, Natalie.
I don't do that. I'm not. I think they're pretty, but I don't want to do that.
Just joking. That was just a joke. Tell everybody what happened. But is it going to deter them from wanting to come get a treatment from you?
No, Angela, because actually I was going to avoid that whole part, but now I have to come clean.
Oh,
thanks a yacht. Thanks a yacht.
You're welcome.
So no, just this machine at my office was making this weird sound. It was like a brrr, and I went in there and I touched the back of it with my right-handed ring finger and a jolt. And I just pulled my finger back really quickly, and it wasn't like it didn't really hurt that bad, but the tip of my finger started tingling, and then it went numb, and then I had these like bruises all around my finger pretty quickly. Yeah. And I just sat and watched it like bruise.
That's so
and I
weird.
kept thinking, I was like, I guess like I didn't feel a shock. And you know what? Why I didn't feel a shock? Because I was just straight up electrocuted. I was like straight up. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about that. No, my hair
didn't. Did your hair go? Bzz?
No, I've been electrocuted before in high school.
Wait a minute. What?
One time it was picture day, which was neat, and the hairdryer cord was frayed, and it like hit my arm, and my jaw locked to the side, and my hair went up like something in a Discovery Museum. Like it just static went up. Whoa. And my fingers like got dinosaur-y. And I remember going to it was really early because I had to shower and do all that stuff. And that's not how when I was at Catholic girls' school, and that's not how I used to roll. So I had to get up early. Right. it was pitch black dark in my parents' room, and I go in there and I was like, I've been electrocuted. And I had a lisp because my jaw was to the side.
Oh my God.
And Sally didn't move. She was still asleep. And Bruce goes, oh, okay. You all right? I'm like, not really. But we can talk about it later. You know, Bruce and Sally have delayed reactions. But anyway, my hair went back to normal, and I did have a little bit of a lisp for the whole day, but my picture turned out really cute. So it was actually wasn't the worst thing. However, it's just been not my first rodeo, but I was sure it was my last.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And I feel like, because you didn't mention to me what Bruce said this time, but I'm assuming like doctor's daughter, there's always just a little bit of laissez-faire sort of, you're fine.
He was in the middle of doing someone's filler.
Right.
So I called to Lynn and I said, can I talk to you for a second? And I showed her in the hallway and Lynn goes, oh, you were electrocuted. Okay. And I was like, what? Yep. And she had to go back. And I was like, hello. She's like, oh yeah. Ooh, that looks bad. Be right back. And, Lynn's like my queen. And
yes.
But I was fine. Like I was talking, everything was fine. And then when Bruce was done, I was like, can I talk? Hey, Dad, can I talk to you for a second? And he's like, sure. We go in the break room. I was like, hey, so I was electrocuted. And I showed him my finger. He goes, oh, yeesh, man. Yeah. Look at that bruising. You should call the company about the machine. I was like, I turned the machine on and off. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Maybe take your rings off. I don't know.
But it was, no. And he was just like, oof. And then, delayed. And then like 30 minutes later, he was like, I'm sorry, baby. That looks like that hurts. So it was real sweet. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough
so
room,
if anyone
man.
ever gets electrocuted, or if you're not sure if you were, call me.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it because I know the ins and outs.
Right. Clearly. I don't know anybody who's been electrocuted twice. I mean,
right.
Natalie, you're a trooper, girl.
I'm an accident prone chick.
I'm surprised you didn't send me. I mean, we have almost lost you a few times, but I didn't get the text
so many
from
times.
You that was like, almost lost me.
I didn't. You didn't almost lose me this time. I know. Normally I do.
This time you were just cool.
I was just super chill about it. Oh yeah, I was just super chill.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm electrocuted.
So maybe it's true. Like maybe it is true. Like you'll be okay. No big deal.
Or I'm halfway to my dream partial frontal lobe lobotomy that I asked for when I turned 14. Like naturally, it's finally happening, and I'm just like, cool. What up? Electrocute. Don't stop me. So
all right.
Anyway, I just wanted to make sure we touched on that in case anybody needed to.
Really glad you're okay. Do you want to show everybody your fingers since they're watching on YouTube? You can show them. Well,
you can't really see it with this.
You can't see it. Darn it.
Just call me. We'll FaceTime. I'll show you guys on FaceTime. Anybody want to call me? We'll FaceTime it out.
Anybody want to see Natalie's electrocuted finger? Just let us know.
Just call me. No problem.
Well, we're going to talk tonight.
Let's talk about what we've been watching.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about what we've been watching. Hey, maybe we should talk about what we've been watching.
I just thought we were going to talk about what we were watching on today's episode. But we can do whatever you want. That's what I thought.
Sort of assumed it was going to be like what we were watching. And
oh, yeah. Let's just do that. That sounds good.
Okay.
Kick it off, girl. Kick it off with that hair.
Okay. So this is something that I watched earlier in the summer. And I kind of wish I hadn't because I don't know what. In fact, I wrote in my notes, WTAF, The Strange Case of Natalia Grace. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing? I
think I had like 20 minutes left of the last episode. I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't, why don't you give like a basic rundown of what you're talking about?
I mean, I'm going to do some commentary here. So, the first thing is, it starts off by them telling you, we don't really know who's telling the truth, and they could all be lying. So just take this all with a grain of salt.
And I don't love that.
No, I don't love that either. Because it's
as
like,
a documentary watcher, I don't love that.
No, it's like, come on. At least make me feel like you're telling some, even if it's a biased version. Yeah, lie to me. You
can't bullshit a bullshitter, am I right?
No, you can't. You can't shit a shitter, Natalie.
That's right.
So it's this couple that is this upstanding. Did you notice how much emphasis they put on how much money they made all the time and stuff? They were like this money-making family, just like whatever. And then they were adopting kids, and they were going to adopt this one kid. And then they got a call from some adoption agency that was like in like a strip mall or something. And they were like, we have this child, and if you don't adopt her, she's going to have to be shipped back somewhere and blah, blah, blah. And they get her, and it turns out she's a little person, and they don't really know much about her, and they don't know her actual age. So they assign her an age, and then it turns out we don't know if she's like actually like 10 years, like, I don't know. It's just so weird. I'm not even doing a good job of explaining this because it's just so strange. And then, do you want to jump in here? Because
I'm just letting you do it. I just love watching you just spiral into this description.
Just,
I mean, you're right. I mean, this is that's an accurate description. I think that, I mean, quite frankly, it's another example that money doesn't buy you mental health.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, the parents in this, the dad in this story, Michael Barnett and Christine Barnett are the adoptive parents to Natalia Grace. Okay.
Yes.
So what I immediately thought of when I started getting into this was the horror movie, The Orphan. Okay.
Oh, I never saw that.
So that's starring like Peter Sarsgaard, and I can't, anyway. And it's literally the same thing.
So
and
then that makes,
but at the end of that movie, cover your earmuffs. She's really like a 35-year-old woman that's trying to take over the husband and be married.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
She's not 6. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So that's why I was wanting to watch this documentary, because that movie always like messed with me. I was like, who thought of this? Well, it was obviously based on this story, I guess, or something has happened or something before. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. It's weird.
But essentially the parents, I don't even want to say this. They give her a bath.
Yeah. They give her a bath, and they think that she's,
they get the notion.
How old do they think she is? They think she's 7?
5? 6, 5, 7.
Whatever. And
really
she
young.
has,
I'm
going to say it. I'm going to say what she has.
Don't say it.
I'm going to say it in a nice way. She has secondary sex characteristics.
Oh.
Everybody.
Okay. She's a full bush. Let's just cut to the chase. I mean, there. I did it. I mean, we were just going to dance around it.
I had to ease you into that, but
yeah,
you went
and
full bore.
So she was full, like very developed.
Yes.
She had, she was developed.
Don't say it again. We know, we got it.
I won't do that again.
Thank you.
I'm not happy that I had to do that.
Well,
anyway, so that was like a big confusion for them. And then the parents, apparently they accused her of being like psychotic, and that she threatened to kill them all the time. And she stood over them in their bed holding a knife and this and that, all to say that they're justifying being abusive to whether she's 5, whether she's 25. They adopted her and they're her guardian or they're in charge of her.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you felt like you were betrayed by a company. I mean, like a business did this,
Mm-hmm.
But they abused this woman, this girl, and then they left her at this house. It's an apartment with all these stairs, and she couldn't
off to live by herself. Yeah,
to live alone, and
she can't walk. She's totally disabled. She can't really walk.
She can't go up and down stairs very well, and it's just atrocious. Mm-hmm. So they were charged with neglect and abuse of a dependent. So honestly, at that point, I don't think the courts were really interested in whether or not how old she was. It's just more like, you are in charge of this person. Like, you have legally filed papers, and this is a dependent, no matter what that means.
And she's a disabled person, so she needs care. Yeah.
And then the dad, Michael Barnett, in this documentary starts having complete nervous breakdown / bullshit nervous breakdown. He's acting, he's pretending to reenact this abuse that the wife, he blames everybody, blames Christine, the wife.
Is he going to get an Academy Award? Natalie.
No, he's going to get a Razzie.
Oh,
He's going to get a Razzie.
he deserves
Garbage.
a Razzie. I mean,
Ugh.
just trash. Just his eyes, his crazy eyes, his body language. I mean, it is just
everything
out of this
about
world.
him is awful. And he was so, he's not even
Gross.
good at defending himself. And then he would go back and forth. He blamed Natalia Grace and then he blamed Christine. And then he was like, well, I mean, I have to take responsibility here. I mean, he could not figure out his position. Okay.
No. Right.
But they both went to jail at some point.
They did?
And they both got, I mean, I
didn't know that.
They were arrested. I know she was in jail.
Okay.
Christine was in jail.
Oh, geez.
And then it all got dropped and they got divorced, Avi. And, everybody's living a life. And Natalia Grace is supposed to be filming her Natalia Grace's rebuttals.
Oh my God.
She's going to have
her side of the story.
Her side of the story. Because it's not her side of the story. And I thought this was like a professional documentary, and it's made by Investigation Discovery, which, as we all know, I love.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not discrediting that.
Right.
But they may have jumped the gun on this one. Maybe we need to wait and have all the facts, have all the participants. All right. Have everyone participate that's involved.
Because they didn't, because
crazy son of a bitch. Okay.
No. And the son,
now.
remember the son who's like telling, are we going to, he had a hot mic. Like, oh, really?
He's
you had a hot
from
mic?
His room in the basement. Okay. Just this weird mattress in the basement.
Oh God. This thing was a hot mess. Let's just move on. It's a hot mess, everybody. If you want a hot mess though, sometimes for the summertime, that's exactly what you need. I mean, when I went to visit Lisa a few weeks ago, we sat and watched, we watched Hoarders.
Well, there's some type of gratification in a brain.
What do you want to do? Yeah. She's like, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? You want to binge watch Hoarders?
I can't. It makes me gag. I can't.
Get you a friend who will binge watch Hoarders with you, though. Yeah. Because it's pretty funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's terrible. But it's funny that we sat and watched it for hours.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It is.
All right.
So I would tell people to skip it, quite frankly.
Yeah, skip it.
I would say look up the story online and just, it's too many episodes. Just skip it.
Yeah, skip it.
It's a swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. Okay, sorry.
So since we're on the topic of documentaries,
yes,
I'm gonna mention one that I watched, and I think you watched. That brought me such joy, and I loved it so much because it's one of my favorite podcasts. It was the Smartless, Smartless podcast with Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes. They have this podcast I'm sure everyone knows, and they did a on the road documentary of them taking the podcast on the road, and they're traveling together, and they're the three best friends. And I honestly, I listen to their podcasts all the time. I haven't been listening to a lot of music, so I listen to Smartless. It is like my pacifier. It is my nest, my little happy place. So watching them on this documentary it just filled me with joy. It really makes your heart feel so full, especially if you like these guys. And if you you should listen to the podcast before you watch this, though, I think. Yes. Because it makes more sense and you'll understand a lot of their jokes, a lot of the inside jokes, and it just makes it a lot more fun, in my opinion. But I couldn't watch that. I'll be watching that over and over again for the rest of my life. And if they ever come through anywhere near me, or I don't even know it, when they go on tour again, I'm going.
Oh, me too. We have to.
I didn't even know they were doing it.
I know.
We have to go.
So good.
It's so good. But it just makes me so happy. The three of them make me very chill and content.
I feel like too, I've never really thought of any three of them as like a sex symbol or like anything like that. But then when I hear them, they become so much more attractive to me. Oh, like all three of them, all
three of them.
They're just adorable.
Jason's the grumpy one.
Yeah. Old man Jason, and
Will
Arnett
makes fun of him. Is the charming, charismatic, and that voice. Okay?
That voice.
And then you have Sean Hayes, who's like the perfect human. He's the best one of all, and he's like a perfect human being.
He is.
Straight up.
Yeah. And I just, as an aside, I want to say that because of the Smartless podcast and because of the documentary Smartless on the Road, you inspired me to start watching Will and Grace again.
Oh, I've been doing it so hard.
And I've been watching Will and Grace.
Isn't it because
it's all
wonderful?
On Hulu. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on Hulu. All of the old Will and Grace.
Yep. And you
it's
can
worth
see
for
all
Jack
the
and Karen alone. I mean, honestly,
totally.
it's just, I'm loving rewatching it. It's just, I can't get enough Sean Hayes right now. I just
know,
can't.
Me too. Me too.
I know. He's
And
such a bright
he's
light.
so brilliant in Will and Grace. I
Yes.
mean, when you go back, I mean, I remember at the time when that was out, like Michael and I, my friend Michael, who I moved to New York with, who I've known, Michael was the first gay man that I ever met. And we lived in Salt Lake City together and we would do everything together. And, you know, people would be
We
like,
love Michael.
they're like, does that beautiful, this is how we always used to say it. Does that beautiful, gorgeous, talented, smart woman know that her boyfriend is gay? And we used to say that all the time. And it
You're
was like,
yeah,
yeah, she does. They're not
yeah.
together. But we were like Will and Grace. And so then when we moved to New York together, you know, we lived across the hall from each other and it was just like that. So
Christopher and I were like that until, like, you know, he got married, which we love Matt Raby. We've had Matt Raby on here.
Hi. Yeah, we do.
Christopher's one of my best friends, his husband. But I have that thing with Christopher for sure.
Yeah, I know. And I always called Michael my sham of a husband and he called me his sham of a wife. But because we just had that thing, you know?
And Will and Grace have that thing.
I know.
It's this connection
Yep.
that anyone could be so lucky to have with anyone. It's just,
and may I also just
magic.
say, like, their clothing, their style, their New York life, their whole vibe, it holds up because it's just classic. Like, it all looks good.
And that wasn't even filmed in New York.
It looks so good, though.
They really
the whole
nailed
thing.
it, though.
And don't you think that Deborah Messing is just like a modern, I mean, people have said this before, but she's just like totally a modern Lucy. Like,
well, she studied Lucy. Lisa Fisher told me this. She studied Lucy for the show. Yeah. And when Lisa told me about that, now that I've been rewatching it, I've noticed it and I pay attention more. I'm like, oh my God, like facial expressions, like fluctuations in her voice, like everything is so like, I love Lucy and I like it, but I'm also like, girl, you're not Lucy. But
but they definitely jump off from there. Like they jump off as if like it's a modern I Love Lucy because clearly, you know, Will is gay, so they're not Lucy
they're
and
like
Ricky.
Lucy and Ricky, but then Jack and Karen are Fred and Ethel. I mean, that would be the thing.
But it's just so good.
It's so good.
I love it. I love it so much. Okay, Nat. So you were talking about Smartless. We've talked about Strange Case of Natalia Grace.
I have another. I have a TV program that I watched and loved.
You've got a program? Yep. You've got a program.
Programs.
Do you want me to tell you what my next one is?
Yeah.
So this is a big one. I don't know if you've watched this or not. Did you watch The Bear?
Oh my God, it's on my list. I have to start it from the beginning because I only watched 2 episodes.
Girl,
and I don't remember what came on.
You're not ready.
Yeah, so I'm going to start rewatching that next week.
The Bear.
Yeah.
Season 1. So season 2
I'm starting
is
from
out
season
now.
1. There's 2 seasons out now. Everyone's flipping out about the second season, I've heard.
Because
don't say anything.
I'm not going to spoil it at all. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but I'm going to tell you one thing, which is that the arc of the characters in season 2 really goes in a good way. Like you see the underpinnings of this family and why they are the way they are. I mean, it's a show about a guy taking over a family restaurant after his brother dies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in Chicago and it's Chicago beef sandwiches, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, when you're watching this, make sure you got snacks because it makes you hungry. Like you're just like, it's gritty, it's dirty, it's a lot of arguing, it's a lot of anxiety, it's a lot of family drama, it's a lot of, chefy stuff and like high end chef stuff and then just like the lowest end chef stuff. It's like human relationships. This is not a show for people who want something that's easy because it's not easy.
No, I picked that up immediately.
Yeah. You just really get into these characters' lives and it's so well cast and so well acted. And oh my gosh, there's addiction, there's family dynamics. But anyway, the one thing I will say about season 2 is that we find out that Jamie Lee Curtis plays the mom of these people. And Natalie, her performance,
she's just really knocking it out of the park these days.
I cannot. They're just a dysfunctional family and she's the matriarch of this dysfunctional family and she does it so well. It's like scary how good she is. It's scary.
I'm excited. I'm ready to do it.
It's everybody like it's so good. Abby, what's her name? God, her name is? Wait, is her name?
Excuse me,
Abby. Why can't I remember anybody's name ever?
You're not as bad as I am. Abby, just good old Abby. Go on.
Good old Abby. She's the daughter of like a very famous SNL character. The guy from whatever. It doesn't matter.
Which one? Okay,
Chris Elliott's daughter, Abby Elliott.
Oh, and he's the mayor of Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, she's in it. It's just fantastic. Abby Elliott.
Yeah,
it's so it's so good. I just highly recommend it.
I can't wait.
To everybody.
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, I also my other program that I watched this in 2 days.
Oh boy.
Based on a true story.
Yes.
On Peacock, and it is produced by Jason Bateman, and it stars Kaylee Cuoco. She's adorable, and Chris Messina, whom I love. He was in the Mindy Project, if anybody remembers.
Oh,
and this new guy, Tom Bateman.
Hey. Hello.
So this is a show about, and it's great because it's about it's about podcasts, and this gal loves murder podcasts and true crime podcasts, and she and her husband are kind of like needing some money, and they discover a serial killer, and then they're going to blackmail the serial killer into doing their own podcast with a serial killer so they don't turn him in. And then it's just some shenanigans. It's funny. It's kind of freaky. Yeah. I loved it. And they're 30-minute episodes. It's great.
Yeah.
I loved it. And
Kaylee Cuoco's eyes. Watch it just for her eyeballs.
Kaylee Cuoco. And she was pregnant. And
was she really pregnant in real life?
Yes. So I learned in her Smartless episode that she had them write it in because she was like, so this is already happening. And so they wrote in her pregnancy. And she's just adorable. And I didn't know I liked her so much. And after I heard Smartless, I thought, I was like, oh, I like her. She's darling. And then I saw this. I was like, I love her. I knew I loved Chris Messina. Love him. He's so good. Yeah. The show's fantastic.
I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've watched like a few episodes of it, and I'm going to definitely finish it because I'm just obsessed. It's super cute. Mm-hmm. It's kind of dark and charming at the same time, right?
Well,
It's a dark, charming, and dark.
It's like a funny true crime show, which I guess that doesn't really. It's fiction. It's okay.
It's fiction, y'all.
It's fiction.
Yeah. So, what else? I have one more thing that I've been watching that I was going to tell you about, but do you have something else?
I saw the movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, the new Sex and the City.
Oh,
and just like that. Listen, I have to watch it because I have loved Sex and the City forever.
For so long.
And I watched the first season of And Just Like That. And I'm just going to be honest, hated it, but I have to watch it. This is the second season of And Just Like That. And it's not as bad. It's better, which isn't saying a whole lot, but it's pretty good. I'm okay. Yep. I'm liking it. And, Arkansas native Ashley Atkinson is really plays Carrie Bradshaw's publicist. She's all up in this season. Nice. And so that's really cool to watch. And honestly, Aiden is coming back for this. That's really why I'm super jazzed about watching this. Now, am I stoked about seeing all of Miranda's nudity? But am I impressed? Yes. And I'm like,
why is Miranda always the one who's naked?
Great.
Always Miranda
naked. She's just I'm a little bit that Miranda's, but Cynthia Nixon isn't playing Miranda anymore. It's just, she's a very different dynamic. It's very much playing Cynthia Nixon. Now, that is kind of something else, but essentially it's okay. I can watch it. I will anyway, but I'm not hating it like I did. I'm not as upset about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Well, maybe I'll check it out. I mean, I've watched all of the Sex and the Cities.
I have any way I can get Sex and the City. I want it. And Kim Cattrall is going to have a cameo, which as I live and breathe, she was never going to do because that's a lot of bad blood there.
Right.
But obviously the studio found a number that worked, and she is going to be in it for 4 minutes or something, maybe even less.
Is she going to be? Have you ever seen that viral video of Kim Cattrall scatting with the bass?
Yeah. I've posted it on my Instagram as my mood 10 times. Sabadooey. Son of the mouth. See, cut the two.
So good.
Did you know I could scat?
No,
Yes,
no,
you do
but I
now.
think maybe we're due for another singing lesson. 'cause
I think everybody's
got
trying
the
to block out
music
the
in
last
you.
one.
How's that
Sloth's
coming
Greatest
along?
Hits
Are you
by Natalie. That's got to be merch, by the way.
Sloth's
I'm not
Greatest
forgetting that.
Hits by Natalie. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
a movie I saw last night. Holly and I went and saw the new Jennifer Lawrence movie, No Hard Feelings. It's a raunchy comedy.
Oh.
She plays a woman that needs money in a car, and she answers an ad about dating this guy that's about to go to college, and he needs to kind of grow up and have experiences because his parents are worried about him. So it's a raunchy comedy, and it was good.
Nice.
It was really entertaining.
Well, I might go get a glass of wine at the theater.
Yep.
Or the theater, as some like to say. The theater.
The picture show.
People in your picture show.
Yeah.
People in your life call it a theater or theater.
We call it the picture show.
The picture.
With my programs.
With the programs.
With my programs. My TV programs.
Okay. Do we have a little pit stop? I do have a little pit stop if you don't.
Good.
I want to
leave you to it.
Okay. This pit stop is dedicated to George Michael because girl.
I haven't watched it yet.
Girl.
Have you watched
Wham!
It?
Documentary. I started it and I haven't finished it yet. But girl, George Michael, I just want to say one more time, if I haven't said it before, I don't think I have. R.I.P.
Yes.
I was obsessed with Wham! As a kid.
Oh, yeah.
When Wake Me Up Before You Go Go came out, when that Wham! Make It Big record came out, we were obsessed.
Yeah.
And we didn't know if we loved Andrew Ridgeley more or George Michael more. I always kind of thought George Michael was gay and Andrew Ridgeley had dark hair. And I always have gone for like dark haired guys, but I didn't really care that George Michael was gay. I just loved both of them so much together, like as a teeny bopper.
Like a national treasure duo.
I just, you know what? I got to say, like, I don't know. People might not agree with me on this, but George Michael had an amazing singing voice.
Oh, 1 bajillion %.
Amazing performer.
Who's
amazing
with
singing
Careless
voice.
Whisper?
I don't know, but also just like Faith was so good, and his duet with
Father
Aretha,
Figure.
Knew You Were Waiting for Me is like
Don't Let the Sun Go Down on
mix.
Me Shimma Ding Dong. Yep.
With Elton John.
With Elton.
With Elton. I mean,
he was
I just think George Michael,
incredible.
That record Older, after that came out it came out like 96 or 97. I lived in San Francisco at the time. I was obsessed with that record.
You lived in San Francisco?
Good. Natalie, did you know that I used to live in San Francisco?
That's crazy.
Oh my God, we haven't even talked about this.
You know, I lived in New York.
Oh my God.
I know.
We have
brand new information.
This is crazy.
We don't live in the past. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, but you were in San Fran, you and your friends.
Yes, and we would go out
bumped some
that
Wham.
would be our getting ready music, like our pre-party, like, oh my God, Older, that record, everybody listen to it. It's good.
You need to pull that back up.
So R.I.P. George Michael, and go watch the Wham documentary. I've only seen like the first 5 minutes and it just looks so good.
It's on Netflix.
So. Yeah, it's on Netflix. So good.
Yeah, that's like that's a must.
There's a lot of really good stuff out right now. Yep.
Yeah, they do.
So anyway,
the Gladiator docu-series. I want to watch the one about the Gladiator show because we loved that growing up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that on Netflix, too? Okay. So we'll have to watch that too. We'll report back.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's been wonderful talking. There's so much great stuff out there, everybody. Just keep on and, tell us what you're watching and let us know what you want us to watch and what you want us to talk about on the old podcast, because we can't. Sorry.
It was good.
Got a little excited on the mic. Oh yeah. The voice of God is telling us to leave reviews. Oh yeah. Yeah. Subscribe to our YouTube. I got my hair done just for the YouTube channel today.
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel. Everything is in the show notes. Oh, we are dorks. Sure do love you.
Nerds. We're not
nerds.
dorks.
Wait, what's the difference between a nerd and a dork?
A lot. We're nerds.
Like dorks don't know that they're nerdy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I think
We're
that's
nerds.
the best. Yeah, we're nerds.
Dorks are not self-aware.
Do you hear that scratching? That's my cat.
Driving me nuts.
Driving me crazy.
Hey, don't sweat it, but don't be a dork. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Isabel, I taught Isabel, don't sweat it.
Oh, love it. I love it, Nat.
Yeah.
All right, Sister Sledge. Well, sure do love you. I'm going to wrap this up and
too.
tell you that I'm going to stay in bed watching my shows because it's hot outside.
Namaste inside watching my programs.
Namaste, drinking the wine and talking on my play phone. All right. Anyway, sure do love you.
Love you. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.